Alright, this is back in here is where we were looking at everything. Sorry, I'm looking down on the ground as I'm going. I don't want to get a snaky. Let's go over this way. Yeah, see, it's... I go that way. Or would it be easier to go this way, I guess? Oh, shit, there's fire right there. Yeah, now, can you hear what I'm stepping on? Now, listen, I'll step down on this big stick. Because it's not the little sticks that was doing it. It was like the big sticks. I don't know. Like that crack that you just heard? Yeah, and right there. Did was it a squirrel or a chipmunk running across the log? I don't know where it went. Anyway, let's go over here. Opens up a little bit. Whoa. Okay, stand right here a minute. Well, I can see that there's a path or something right there. It goes up that way and up in. And there's so much, you can see there's so much on the ground, it'd be hard to see anything unless it was very impressioned back here. Plus it rained all damn night last night. Like, yeah, so. Sorry, I'm just being safe. I gotta stop for a minute because I'm trying to film. But I'm trying to watch where I'm going. I gotta stop and look around on the ground for a minute. Make sure I'm not stepping anywhere that... Oh, yeah, that was back there. Somebody's looking for me. Bet you anything. See, look at him. Look at him. That's how far I am from there. I just... Because this is where we were. This is where it was last night. And mind you, it was raining when all this went down. Yes, he is pretty thick. I got a green shirt on so they can't see me. Okay, stop right here a minute. Yeah, I just wanted to show you this, but this was in the area or the vicinity. Maybe a little bit more this way of where I was hearing it. And I don't know if the camera was picking it up. You might have to use headphones and turn it, I don't know. Because it was raining. I could hear it. And they were big cracks. They were big cracks. So, the good news is, I think I got one of the boys to put a trail cam up by here for a minute. And I really want to get my glow sticks out a couple of them. I bought a bunch of them for this trip, but you know, a couple of glow sticks and just hang them up around. And then see if they get taken, period. You know, because then when I go out and camp by myself, I'm not going out yet. But, and, you know, looking around stuff here first. Checking the area out first. Anybody that's smart would do that in the first place. You know what you're walking into. Kind of thing. So pretty out here. Oh, look at this. Look. It's so green. But yeah, this was the area that see, and it looks like there's a path there, but I don't know if that's safe for me to be over there. I don't want to go on anybody's stuff that I don't belong on, number one. I don't need all that after my train ride from hell to get here. Which, maybe I'll tell you just a little bit about that. I'm looking, I don't see much of anything out here. But something heavy was walking back. Oh crap. Deadfall, deadfall. You know, but like I said, it could have been a deer. I don't know. Because it was pretty loud cracks. Like it was, whatever it was heavy. But I don't know. You know, but when you're standing there looking into darkness and you hear all that, you know, and I don't have no bear spray on me. I don't have my flashlight to even see what's going on. I'm not going willy-nilly into thy good night. Hello? So pretty in here though. But yeah, so this was the area that there's the fence. I think I'm past something I'm not supposed to be on. So let's get back over here. I think I'm on the wrong side of the bed. Oopsie daisy. Sorry, sorry. So sorry, very sorry. Oh, now I just walked myself into a... How the hell did I get out of here? Well, I guess we're going this way. You know, freaking briars. Keep it to yourself. Oh, shit. This ain't good. Ew, son of a bitch. Nope, nope, nope. Yep, I'm gonna have to go back because this is too thick right through here and I'm not doing it. So I'll just go back over here. But yeah, it's pretty in through here, that's for sure. Yeah, so I won't tell you about the first incident because it's just ridiculous and I know. Anyway, or maybe I'll tell you, but I'll tell you about that one. Oh, I thought I saw, no. It might be just the wind moving stuff though. I can't really see all the way back there. Making sure I'm not stepping on. Hey. Oh, that's where I went. Well, I'll tell you about it. Stand right here for a minute. So, this little, and I'm not kidding, she was just, and I know she was an older lady than me. She gets on the plane or on the train in Denver, right? And from Salt Lake all the way to Chicago, I sat in the same seat. So, I wasn't. But they just told us when we first got on the train that you can sit anywhere that there's not a tag, so there's 2 seats, but there was no tag, so I just slid in there. If somebody wants that other seat, fine, but I'm getting the window. I was here first. I want to see the sights. So they put this girl in. They put this lady in, and I guess from what I found out later was they had put her in one seat, and she was real quick to tell them she didn't like her seat. And so she wandered the whole entire train. This was one of the things that she got in trouble for and kept doing, but she wandered the whole entire train, sitting everywhere, and then people would get on at the stops, and they go to get in their seat, and there she is. And then she's gonna fight and argue with everybody over, and they came back, was nice, was trying to tell her that, hey. And so, she just argued and everything else. She was just a pill. Anyway, there was a bunch of us older ladies sitting towards, we were on the caboose, by the way. So we were sitting towards the back, and they had sat her next to me, and I just was like, whatever. So this was my first encounter with her sitting there next to me, and I had my headphones in and was watching a movie and stuff, and when she was like, had her coat turned backwards and her hood, her face in the hood part of it, and like whatever, I figured she was probably going to sleep, and well, that's what a normal person would think, right? No. She in there having conversation with I don't know who, and obviously was singing Three Blind Mice, and I'm telling you, and she's sitting there next to me in that, and I'm like, oh, no big deal. But she was so tiny that when she sat down in the seat, even reaching her little legs out there, still didn't even reach the little foot bar that hangs from the seat in front of you. And she's just little. I'm talking 4 foot nothing. So, she sits that back there by me, and at one point she's telling me, do you mind if I, watch your show with you? And she's got an accent now, whether it was German or whatever it was. I think it was, but hey. So, because one guy asked her, well, where are you from? What does it matter? And stuff. And I'm like, and he said to her very politely and said, well, I was just wondering because I love your accent. She just was ignorant from then on. She just did a lot of stuff. And, anyway, she came and sat down in the back where all of us older ladies were. And sat a few seats back, like on the very back one on the same side as me. And we're all back there just talking, Everybody's got grandkids, how it is, and older ladies, and they talk about their dogs, the grandchildren, that whole shebang. And so they start talking to her. I didn't say a word to her because I'd already had enough of this woman. I didn't even want to have another conversation with her, okay? And so anyway, I'm gonna lean up against this tree here a minute. So, over here a minute, let's see if we can see anything over here. Down under these big leaves. So anyway, she's sitting back there, everybody's talking, we're all having a good conversation, and just, well, me and I was talking with the other ladies, and they started talking to her, and I'm just, but two of the ladies had just gotten on, and they were being so nice to everybody on there. It wasn't, no big deal. She comes back there and sits down. they start talking to her, and this woman lets out very loudly and has no qualms about telling you what's what. You know, but she was just, rude. I mean, you just, oh my Lord. Tells everybody back there, I don't like none of you. I don't want any of you to talk to me. I'm not racist. I just don't like anybody. You know, and I was sitting forward when she did this, so I just kind of turned in my seat so the lady that was sitting in a corner back behind me could see my face, and I just looked at her and winked, and she was like, and just rolled her eyes and looked out the window, right? She said this to him. Then she still keeps talking. This same lady flips around in her seat and looks at her. She goes, then why are you still talking to us? You know, well, a few minutes later, she gets up and moves because, of course, she's, you know, whatever. This went on all day on the train Thursday, okay? And she got off in Chicago, thank the Lord. But yeah, we were downstairs, and you know, she was getting into it with other passengers and stuff, and we were getting to a stop. There was another lady, or another guy, and his son that were riding, and she tried to pick a fight with them. And so anyway, you know, and it was that time that, you know, if you wanted to stretch your legs and get a breath air, that was one of the stops that we got 5 minutes at. So, of course, we're all down there waiting for them to open up the door. And of course, her lovely self is down there. And I'm standing there talking to him. And out of nowhere, this woman tells me, you are salt of the earth. I just kind of looked at her and smiled. And I said, well, thank you. And I looked at her for a minute, and I said, I don't know if he was trying to insult me or what, but, you know, that you got to try better than that. I said, but thank you. Oh, and she just kept going, you know, and stuff. And she's walking over there, and I know, rambling on, talking about other stuff, and everybody's down there. At this point, they're, you know, the guy and the son are even standing there looking at her going, you're just a mean, nasty person. You know that? Anyway, and I told her she was miserable. Well, I was wearing my orange shirt that said, and I wore it that morning, just for her, Friday morning, just for her, that said, I would like to shove some positive vibes up some miserable people's asses. And she looked right at my shirt when we were down there, and she said, is that directed at me? And I said, yes, ma'am, it is. She didn't like that. I don't care. I said, you've been nothing but miserable since you've been on here. You've informed everybody on the train. You don't like nobody, don't talk to you, whatever. And you're running around here causing problems with everybody else. Okay, so then she gets mad. I said, just knock it off. I said, just knock it off. It's not, you know, that's bullshit. And this little woman starts thumping her chest, like patting at her chest and walking towards me. She goes, oh yeah, come at me. Oh my God, I took a step back and I said, Lord Jesus, you better go sit down. I was like, oh, I'll pray for you. I was like, holy moly. I don't, and I finally told her, I said, you know, either you missed your meds today, and if you're not on meds, I suggest you find some. You know, and that was our lost conversation for a minute. Then, just before we're hitting Chicago, we're, you know, coming into Chicago, the very outskirts. And I'm seeing all these old churches with, you know, the crosses on them, the steeples, and, you know, all this. And I'm seeing it, and me and this little Spanish lady that was sitting behind me, I said, wow, look at that. We were both looking at it, and she said, yeah, those look old. I said, wow, look at all them old churches. And all of a sudden from behind me, this lady, because they made her get back in her seat, which I was like, please, God, don't let me choke her to death before we hit Chicago. Out of nowhere says, yeah, maybe you should step into one. I flipped my head around at that point and said to her, because we're both getting off at Chicago, what are they going to do, kick us off? Okay. So I turned and flipped and looked at her, and I said, you know what? I suggest you keep your nasty fucking comments to yourself, you miserable old woman. You're right, I shouldn't. I said, you know what? I'm going to be like what you did to us earlier. I don't like you. I don't want you talking to me. Okay, okay. That was the end of that. I was like, oh my God. And I seen a bunch of, that's just one, there was a bunch of crazy stuff I seen going down. I don't know if you guys seen my picture about the dude in the gold, you know, Mr. Tiger King himself with his guitar. And I'll tell you about that story later, but I'm going to go ahead and end this right now because I don't really see anything back here as to what would be causing that. But like I said, I'm going to put some glow sticks out, get a trail cam out here, and we shall see what we shall see. All right. See you later. Ginger out.